Hi guys, what I want to run through with you is just to help you guys out when we're doing in-bodies and we're doing them on a weekly basis so you can understand kind of what stuff you want to be looking at if the numbers aren't moving in the right direction for you. So I suppose first and foremost, the in-body is kind of there to assess the impact your training and lifestyle is having on your body composition. So a big part of this is if we want to see a change in either muscle mass or fat loss, which are the two kind of primary things we're seeing, we need to be making changes kind of throughout the week and tracking that and seeing what's happening. So I'll run you through kind of a brief example, and we're getting a graphic design of this done for you guys to hopefully make it a little bit easier. But this is just to illustrate it for you. So what we do is, as an example of one day, we're going to look at our breakfast first and foremost, and we're going to see, do we have a protein source? Do we have a vegetable source? Do we have a dense carbohydrate source? And do we have a fat source in that meal? Okay, and then from there we can kind of build a picture. So really quickly, I'll just show you kind of what I mean. So if, for argument's sake, for breakfast, I don't have protein, 0, and that's fine. And with all of this stuff, there's no moral dimension to any of this. It's really just, it's sort of inputs and outputs and yeses and nos. If I don't have vegetables, again, that's fine. If I do have dense carbohydrates, brilliant. And if I do have fat, okay. We do the same then for lunch. So let's say I have a chicken salad. Okay, so I have some protein. I do have some vegetables. I do have vegetables. I don't have any dense carbohydrates. Okay, but I do have a little bit of fat. And then for dinner, okay, same example. We'll look at, I had some, let's say I had some fish. I had some green veg, so that's a 1. Okay, I had some dense carbohydrates because I had a little bit of pasta or a little bit of rice with it. And I did have some healthy fats because I had a little bit of olive oil kind of drizzled over all of it, okay? What that tells me then really quickly is I have 12 spaces, okay, on the grid. And of those spaces, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay? 7 from 12, which is about 60%. Okay, and that's absolutely fine. Okay, I've got about 60% of what I needed to get done that day. The number doesn't really matter. Having awareness of that number and awareness of what I'm actually doing, that's very, very important, because if we don't have that awareness, what happens is we come down, we get on the in-body, we do the in-body initially, then we retest. The numbers don't move, and we get frustrated or we get disheartened, and we're confused as to why the whole thing isn't kind of moving in the direction we want it to. Whereas if we do something simple like this, it's really easy for us to see what's happening and what we're doing and how that's impacting our body composition. The other thing then, because this is on the back of a conversation I had with somebody the other day, if you look at this stuff in totality over the course of a week, or even better, over the course of a month, it becomes an awful lot clearer then where the gaps really are. Okay? To give you an example, 3 meals per day, okay, and some people will need more than that, okay, but 3 meals per day is 90 meals per month on average, okay, which, using our recommended kind of, guidelines, for food and kind of portions, for a man, that means you need 180 palms of protein, you need 180 fists of vegetables, 180 cupped handfuls of carbohydrates, and you need 180 tons of fat in a month, okay? If you do that, you're getting adequate sleep, you'll probably see your performance go through the roof. If you're not, you're probably going to get a different kind of result. For girls, it's the same principle, but we're looking at significantly less food, but the same idea applies. So what we'd really be encouraging you to do is, before getting on the in-body again and kind of hoping that the numbers are going to change for you, run through this. Have an honest look at what you're doing with no moral dimension to it. Just be nice and kind to yourself. See what you're doing from a nutritional point of view, and then compare that to the results you're getting on the in-body. And from there, it'll hopefully take away kind of some of the mystery for you and make it a little bit easier for you to understand kind of what's the next big thing you can change to get the kind of result and the outcome that you're looking for. If you have any questions, please pop them in the comments below. But before you do that, and before we get lots of really nitty-gritty questions, okay, let's look at this and let's see what we're happening in kind of general terms on a kind of weekly basis. Normally when we do this with people, or we ask people to do this, they'll figure out really, really quickly that there's some very, very big gaps which is causing, yeah, you know what I mean, them not to get the kind of result that they're looking for. Thanks, Mel.